For better or for worse, Prodigy discs can't seem to keep themselves out of the news.
Prodigy disc is suing Gannon Bird,
federal court in Georgia.
Or we can say it's because no one gives a shit about Prodigy's discs.
And of course, you've probably heard about the flashing.
Most creators, most consumers are biased against Prodigy. Here's how we're going to improve. Here's what we're doing. We're going to try to sign you. We're going to try to sign Bodanza. We're going to sign Broderick.
Oh yeah, and I almost forgot. 3-time US champ Will Schusterick becomes CEO and sends a Frolf tuber Prodigy's entire disc lineup for a 30-day series.
There's 3 keys to disc golf: driving, approaching, and putting. You need all 3 to do this disc sport.
So, I reached out to Prodigy. Well, let's get that off the board. They didn't reach out to me. They weren't like, "Hey, Brod, we need you to make some videos." I reached out to them. I sent them an email, and Will Schusterick, one of the GOATs and the CEO of Prodigy now, as a lot of you have probably heard in the recent weeks, he reached out to me. He said, "Hey man, love the idea. What do you need?" I said, "I need all your frisbees." He said, "Sounds good. Let's make it happen." Today, the official unboxing. We got a bag, Apex Backpack XL. Obviously, you guys know I'm with Squatch, but maybe for the month-long challenge here, the Prodigy discs, we'll keep them in here. Who knows? I've always actually been a fan of the Prodigy bags, because I think a lot of the modern day Squatch and Pound bags, the designs are actually very similar to the design that Prodigy kind of first went with the upper pocket and the side pockets. So we'll get a little bit into that as we go. Will basically sent me 2 of almost everything. MX1 overstable mid-range 5204. This actually feels so much better than I thought it did. I thought it was like a big bead. This kind of feels really nice. We got it in 400 and 500. I think most of the discs we got 400 and 500, which is Prodigy's kind of 2 premium plastics. This is interesting because with Prodigy, they're actually one of my favorite companies in terms of the branding. I love this M2 right here. The branding on Prodigy's discs, I think, is some of the cleanest. I think they really took disc golf and made it look like something you could take a little bit more serious. But M2s, I've never thrown an M2. I will say, guys, it's always fun as a disc golf creator when you get to bust open a box of brand new discs. Prodigy might be one of the companies that I have thrown the A series. I've thrown the M4 here and there. Oh my gosh. Whew. It never gets old, guys. This is probably one of the biggest lots I've ever received at once, and it's just, I don't know. I like it. I'm excited for this month. Prodigy is just there's so many thoughts out there right now, and obviously them losing players, bringing Will in. Let's just start on, let's just get rolling. Let's get rolling. I can't keep, we'll talk as we go. 400 Ultra Soft PA5, which this 400 Ultra Soft just came out. It's a newer plastic, and I've been hearing good things. That feels great. It looks like they sent me 3 of their Fractal line in most of their putters. So I got Fractal PA3s, or no, PA5s here. 300 soft as well. PA5, I have a tiny bit of like knowledge on them. I've thrown them a little bit. I like them. They're that out of the box late flip disc. So the Fractal plastic feels amazing. I'm not the biggest fan of like the swirly, like this style stuff. I'm more of just like a base looking plastic type of guy. But PA5s, looks like we got a couple PA4s. Oh yeah. The PA4 is a disc that actually, I mean, man, at this point it's probably been six years or so. But I used to throw the PA4. I used it as my late flip throwing putter, basically. And man, this 500 plastic PA4. looks amazing. And then a nice plain white 300 soft. That's going to be a fun one to use. PA4 classic Prodigy mold, kind of one of their more underrated but unique molds. 500 plastic PA3, another absolute beauty. Usually the PA3s, even though their numbers are 3401, they tend to be a little more overstable than that. And then I'd assume in the premium plastic, maybe a little bit more even. 400 plastic PA2, no flashing at all, and this actually feels very nice. I know a lot of times I don't think the putters that's much of an issue. Some 300 soft fractal PA3s, that's cool. You guys know I love a good PA3. And then looks like we got some fractal PA1s as well, which I actually for quite a while back in the day putted the special edition black with the star PA1s, and these feel great. Oh baby, 400 glow A5 puddle top too, man. The A5, when this first came out, I remember when they first ever came out, I lived in Arizona a few years back, and I was playing around with Gavin Babcock. That's when he was still on Prodigy, and he had the prototype A5, and I felt it, and I was like, man, that's a disc I really like. And a lot of you guys might know I threw an A5 actually for a lot of maybe the last season or two, like last year. And that one will probably make an appearance in this series eventually as well. But the A5, I think, in my mind, it's like Zone and A5 are the kings of the Zone style disc to me. And then we got a 751 as well. Guys, I don't want to say they changed the A5 mold, but I swear this disc feels a little different in a good way. It feels lower profile. Man, I'm excited about these A5s. 400 Ultra Soft A3. That is gummy. Oh my gosh. We'll see. I've thrown the A3 a tiny bit. Ooh, pleasantly surprised with the flatness of this 500 A3. A lot of the A3s I feel tend to come out pretty domey, and this one feels amazing. Wow. I love it. I did not see A4s on the packing list, which I was a little sad about because I really actually enjoy the A4. I was throwing a 400G old school bar stamp A4, and that was a really good disc, and I lost it. 400 Ultra Soft A2. Oh my. Board flat. Cheat code. A2 is also, the A5 A2 combo might be like the goated approach disc combo, and then a nice 400 plastic A2 as well. Man, it's like a kid on Christmas morning. The A1, I think I've maybe thrown on a couple times, but I've never really looked into them much. It's like the A2 but with a bead, and it might be the most overstable one in the Prodigy A series lineup. Let's get into these drivers, because I think that's really what's gonna like make or break this series. Right away, we got a D4 400 plastic 12.5 -22. Never thrown one of these. A little bit of flashing on there, but I will say it's not like the it's like the flashing you maybe would get some from some modern Innova discs. Nothing crazy. D2 Air 13.6 -0.5 161. Probably going to be a bomber, but we'll see. D2. I feel like a lot of the Prodigy pros really like the D2. That's kind of like maybe even more than the D1. It's like their go-to bomber. .400 plastic. I don't have much. I've messed around here and there with Prodigy's distance driver lineup. Like I've just thrown some here and there when you get my hands on them. D3, 13.6, negative 2.2. Okay. Feels fine. I don't know. Another 500 D3, 13.6, negative 2.2. No abnormal flashing on these so far. And then just a 400 D4. It'll be interesting to see the mix I get here. Of the new branded Prodigy stuff versus the older branding Prodigy stuff, because last year Prodigy obviously did the rebrand where they kind of redid the logo, dropped Prodigy disc, and they're going by more of just Prodigy, and then kind of freshened up their stamps and all that. So let's see, we got a couple mids in the back here. The M3 750 5.5 negative 1.2. This disc feels a lot better than I was anticipating. I can't say I've ever felt an M3, to be honest. I guess not better than I was anticipating. I just didn't know what to expect. This feels pretty nice. Like it's almost like feels like M4-ish, but with a little more bevel, probably making it a little bit more stable. Speak of the devil, 400 Ultra Soft M4. Oh man, these soft plastics, I don't quite know how I feel about them. In the summer, I'm not going to be throwing a soft plastic, but this winter, something like this might be absolutely money. You guys know how much I love a super straight mid-range, so a 400 soft M4. Ooh, and then this is kind of a beauty, 500 M4, nice and flat, 5.5 negative 1.1. Wow, that's nice as well. Man, good stuff right there. I forgot I had this brand new 10-year M4 after I did the unboxing, so we're throwing this in the bag. Let's get back into some more drivers, it looks like. This is what I'm excited about. When I reached out, I said, hey, what do I need? Well, I need like every series of discs, you know what I mean? I need everything, because I haven't really thrown the H series, the FX series, the F series, and I really want to kind of figure those out. The D1 and 500 Ultra Soft, that is insanity. I wonder if that's like super beefy or if it's flippier. And then a newer 400 plastic D1 as well, which pretty flat. Doesn't really feel like, I don't know if the D1 is necessarily supposed to be a bomber because it's 12504. Feels like it's probably a nice forehand smacker. What do we got here? This is the line that I'm kind of most excited for, honestly, is the FX line. FX4, 9.5 negative 2.2, 400 plastic. This thing feels great. I love a good, 9, 10 speed control driver. The reblend FX4. And I feel like since the reblend stuff kind of hit the market recently, people have really been loving it. So, man, those will be fun. FX2, 9.4 negative 1.3. You can tell that feels similar, but it's just like a little sharper edge. Tiny bit of flashing on there. Ooh, that's a beauty. FX2. I will say one thing I like about Prodigy is they use a lot of pastel colors, and I'm a big fan of that. 9.4 negative 1.3. Huh. Feels good. A lot of Prodigy, the FX stuff, I feel like feels better in a backhand for me than it's going to feel in a forehand. FX3, 9.4 negative 1.52. Very similar, but a little more understable feeling wing to that one, I would say. FX3, or no, that was an FX3, yeah. 500 plastic. What is, oh my gosh. 86 negative 4 0.5. This is an F9 Christmas edition, 149 gram. This thing has got to be like a Skamahawk disc. That is a UFO. There's literally no bottom. It's just straight dome. That's a wild one. F9, just in 500. This like kind of day glow shimmer is beautiful. The F9 is like the function for people who can't even throw the function. Like, it's more understable. I'm pretty sure Kiloviska's mom was the one that they had throwing this disc when it first dropped in the ad, which is how you know it's understable. First run F9. Wait, is this F9? Okay, yeah. F7. Oh, that is a beauty. Oh my. That actually feels really good too. That is a super clean stamp. 86 negative 3-1. That could be a fun one. That feels nice. That is a cool feeling disc. Very blunt. Man. A lot of these fairway FX type discs I've never even felt. So it's kind of exciting. F5, 7.5, negative 2-1. Similar feel. Very blunt edges on this F series stuff. Reblend F5, it's got a lot of dome actually. F3, okay, 8.5, negative 2.2. Man, this whole F series, they feel and look super similar. Very blunt edged, which I like because you kind of get like almost the same feeling disc, but it's obviously going to do something else, which is a lot of times great. It's kind of like mold minimalism. It gives you that vibe at least. F3s, okay. Then the F2, 7.5, negative 1.3. So this is kind of going to be their Eagle T-Bird type disc, I would say. Man, really got some nice colors in here. 400. This one feels really good. Really flat. Man, okay. So far, guys, F1, 7403, okay. A little bit of like a blemish in the plastic here, honestly. Kind of like some factory second vibes, but not. I don't know. Ezra Robinson, I think this is an F1. Okay. What do we got here? H7s, 9.5, negative 4.1. That is also very understable. Holy. It'll be interesting to see the use I find out of those. Okay, the H series. This is an interesting one to me. 10.5, negative 2, 1.5, H4 V2. I don't even know what to say right now with all these because it's a lot of... When I did the MVP challenge, I had felt most MVP discs. I might not have thrown them, but I felt them all. But other than like the M4, the A series, the PA series, that's like, and like a D1 and a D2, that's like all I had experience feeling. So feeling some of these discs is wild. 11.5, negative 1.2, H3 V2. This seems like a disc I could get behind. Huh. Very flat. Almost like the same top as it has on the bottom, which seems to be kind of like a trend with the F series, the H series. Like the discs are so neutral, I want to say. H3 V2, that's the same disc. It's cool too that I got the both plastics of the premium, because then you kind of get to, I guess, like see the differences. H1 V2, 11403. Very stiff. A little sharp. Okay. H4 V2, 10.5, negative 2.1. It's a decent feeling disc as well. I like the neutralness of the feeling, or of the I don't know what I'm trying to say. H1 V2 hybrid driver. This one doesn't have flight numbers on it, which is interesting. I wonder if it's actually an old one or if it just, I don't know. Man, so many Frisbees. Well, there you have it. The unboxing. The Prodigy disc unboxing. Pretty solid, honestly. I'm excited. So we officially got our Prodigy bag set up, at least for now. We got into the field, threw them all. What you're gonna see is you're gonna see all the discs I decided to go with for this first kind of phase overlapped over the unboxing portion. You've seen that already. Now we get into the bag. Real quick, I'll run through what we got. We got the MX1, kind of just a beefy, overstable mid. It's like an Ultra, but a little more overstable. We decided to go with the M2. I'll be honest, I'm not sold on this, but I feel like we need to at least give it a try. We got both of these M4s in here, which I already know I'm gonna love the M4. It's my style of disc, Buzz SS type disc. Honestly, I could probably just work with these in the A series, but that M2, we're gonna have to test it out a little bit. As for the putters and all the rest of the lineup, we tried to kind of go like stable, straight, and flippy. Very simple, and then we'll kind of move on from there. We're going with the premium PA3. In the past, usually I'm a base plastic PA3 guy, so you'll probably see some videos with those as well. But premium PA3 500 PA4, which I love this disc. And then we're gonna go with the 300 soft PA4 as well, as maybe more of like an upshot type disc. I'm excited to mess around with some PA4s again, not gonna lie. Fairway slot, FX2, these are beefy. This is kind of a disc that a lot of the pros like to throw for their just trustworthy, overstable fairway driver. So we'll be rocking one of them. Honestly, based on hand feel, FX4, I think this might be one of my favorites. I know the pros, Isaac Robinson loves these, or loved these. Back in the day, a lot of the Prodigy pros like the FX4 for a little bit straighter fairway stuff. And then we got F2, F3, F7, understable, F3, dead straight, kind of do what you want, and then F2, a little more stability. So got those. The sleeper pick for me so far of the category that I'm most excited to get more work in with and already excited about is actually the H series, H4 V2. Pretty flippy, but I think it's gonna fit my hyzer flip late turn style of game. And then the H3 V2 is kind of just a step up. I have these in both 500 and 400. The 500 variation seems to be a little bit stiffer. We're gonna run with those for now, but we're still gonna be working with the other 400s as well. And then for distance drivers, I'll be honest guys, the selection of distance drivers that I got right away, I don't love the feel of. I know the Prodigy distance drivers can vary greatly. Part of the game, you know what I mean? But we're gonna go D2 kind of as that go-to. D1, which I like the feel of the best, but it is a little bit flat. And then honestly, kind of like a sleeper pick is the D4. 12.5 negative 2.2, but it feels like it is a bomber. And in a tailwind, it might be money. So that is gonna be the initial setup. For now, we got the PA1s up top because I used to putt PA1s and I kind of want to give them a go again. By the time we get out for episode number 2 of a full round of disc golf, things could have changed because I'm probably gonna be getting some putts up with the PA5, PA3s, PA1s. Honestly, maybe even the PA4. So guys, that is pretty much gonna do it for this one. Just so you know what is coming, we're gonna have full series breakdowns of each. You know, we'll have the P series, the M series, the approach series, F series, hybrid series, distance series. We're gonna have a dedicated video for each series. We're really gonna try and break it down and learn the most we can about it. I'll tell you if I think the discs are good, if I think the discs are bad. We're gonna have full rounds of disc golf and then everything in between. You know, I just make content. I go out in the woods and I throw Frisbees, and whatever happens that day, sometimes that's what happens. So if you're new here, please do me a favor, subscribe, and leave a comment down below. Let me know what you guys want to see. So that's going to do it for episode number 1. Keep your eyes peeled for episode number 2, where we go test out these Frisbees. Thanks for watching, guys. We'll see you in the next one.
Creator of Frisbee Club, motherfuckers.
The man, the myth.
And right here, I have a Frisbee bag. It holds all my Frisbees, the ones I like.